Hi, this is Jill from the North Woods. We are on week 26 and took the shot today, and everything went as expected. I also am having a friend of mine join me in the world of Mounarjo, and I'm excited to see what happens with her next. And she's going the compounding route because of differences between our medical diagnosis and our weight goals. This is a good week because I lost 1.5 pounds, which is a good solid week. And on the week of Christmas, I don't think I ever lost weight on the week of Christmas. So this is all good news. And I had some time to enjoy a little bit with my friend. We went out and I got a BLT sandwich instead of what I normally get, which is a lot higher in calories. And it was very tasty. I even had a little eggnog ice cream. And then I went to my friend's house yesterday to celebrate Christmas. We played a crazy game and then had snacks and various things. I would have eaten a lot more had I not been on Mounarjo. I did all right for myself. I had a fair enough time eating what I wanted to eat, and so it was all good. But losing 1.5 pounds is good. I am well on my way. My next benchmark, because I hit Wonderland a couple weeks ago, my next benchmark is, can I get to the weight that I was when I lost weight initially before I got myself injured? And that is hopefully happening sometime in March. I hope to be at that weight. And that was the lowest weight that I have, been in since I was probably in junior high. So that's going to be a nice new weight too. I took measurements this morning and I lost about 1.5 inches off of my neck, my arms, my calves. I lost about 6 inches off my hips and about 6 inches off of my stomach area, another 4 inches off my round the chest area, and another 4 inches off my waist. So it has been coming off, and that's from the very beginning. Making good progress. I highly recommend a couple of different things. First of all, find those non-scale goals. Scales are crazy. I will tell you that yesterday, my scale said I lost 3 pounds this week, and I knew that wasn't true because I had gone out hiking with my friend. We had been out and about for the last couple of days checking out birds because we also have the Buzz Blossom and Squeak podcast where I talk about nature, and I was not drinking the amount of water I should have been drinking. And so when I stepped on the scale and I saw a 3-pound weight loss for the week, I knew it wasn't true. And I knew that once I rehydrated myself, it was going to go up a little bit, and it did. And it's the same true when I mentioned those other weeks where I eat too much salt. And too much salt makes you retain water. If you eat too many carbs, you almost retain, I forgot what it was, but a ton of water per gram of carbs. And so you will gain weight as your body sort of absorbs water like a sponge. Scales aren't exactly accurate in everything they do. It's just a good general average. And that's where I use something called Happy Scale, where it sort of takes out the ups and the downs and the bumps of your weight loss and sort of gives you a nice smooth chart going down. Sometimes people get very intimidated or worried or upset when they see the scale either not budging or going up and down radically. I know for women, it goes up and down much more than just for men. Women are much more susceptible to water gain, weight. There's hormonal changes at different parts of the month. Weight just goes up. I could tell you that at certain times of the month, I just went up 2 pounds. And then as soon as that time was over, I went down 2 pounds. It's just how my body worked. So it's fine. And scales can be intimidating when you go that way. So you can take two attitudes with it, and you can just decide you don't care and that you know it's going to come down, just like I knew it was going to go back up once I rehydrated myself. Or just know that the scale is just a solid average of where you're at. The other part that I wanted to talk about is you be you, boo-boo. I mean, it is easy for all of us to compare ourselves to other people and almost everything in life. How much money am I making? What kind of house do I have? Is my house as nice as my neighbor's house? But when it comes to this weight loss process, it gets so easy to have us start thinking, how come I'm not doing what that person is doing? How come I'm not doing as well as that other person? And with social media, with YouTube channels, with Reddit in particular, I see people losing weight much faster than I am. The problem is you don't know everybody's backstory. You don't know where everyone is at. For example, one fellow who emailed me, he's doing great on Mounarjo. He also works in a job where he walks all day long. I work in a job where I sit at a computer all day long. In fact, I even got like elbow tendonitis from mousing too much. I have a very sedentary life. It's true. And it's even worse than that. What do? I read books. I knit. I sit at my desk quite often. I'm not much of a TV watcher, although I watch some TV. And then I work all day sitting at the computer. I am not going to be as active as someone who has a job where they are walking around all day long. It's just not going to be. The other part of it, too, is that you have to look at the comparison of different other statistics. First of all, man versus woman. Men tend to lose weight much faster. And age. Is someone young, their metabolism is going to be a lot healthier. Or is that person that you're comparing to going through menopause and you are or you're not? That is going to greatly affect it. I was seeing something that was talking about a couple of different situations. That one, if you have metabolic syndrome, you could go out there and eat the lawn on your property and you would not lose weight. And that is absolutely true. It's very difficult once you get into this metabolic syndrome to lose weight. But then once you hit menopause, if you're a woman, it becomes darn near impossible. It becomes very resilient. Your metabolism goes down. Your ability to handle things, I guess, in your body goes down. And so there's not really much worth in comparing yourself to other people. But let me give you the tale of two of my friends. My friend that is here in town, she's very tall. She's athletic. She works out 600 times a day. It's the way she works. When I am about to pick her up because we share a gym trainer together, I say, "What are you doing?" She goes, "Oh, I'm working out." And I say, "Well, you do know we're going to the gym in a few minutes." "Oh, I'm working out before we work out." Why would anyone work out before we work out? She has a very healthy attitude when it comes to exercise, how important it is for her to stay active, to stay physically capable of doing things, and to prevent health issues. And her stats on health are amazing. And my other friend who is joining me in the GLP1 world, she is thin. She's pretty thin. She has weight to lose, but it's resistant to her. She cannot lose weight. When she tries to, it just, no matter how much she starves herself or goes in the middle, she just is not able to lose weight. So she feels stuck even though she's not greatly overweight like I am. So everyone's a little bit different. And that's, I guess, the frustrating part about medicine in general, is that each of us are different. We have different makeups. We have different DNA. Our bodies react to things in different ways. I get sick to my stomach when I have the wrong kind of protein, like the whey protein or something like that. Most people don't. I had blood sugar spikes on popcorn, which tends to be a very good diabetes snack because it's so high in fiber and it usually doesn't spike your blood sugar. We're all different in how we're made up in our bodies. We're this computer code of DNA that is each a little bit different than the other. And so that's what makes medicine so difficult. It's what makes diet so difficult, because what works for me is not going to work for you and vice versa. So getting away from trying to compare ourselves. I see it in Reddit all the time where someone says, "Wow, I just started Mounarjo. It's fantastic. And I have already dropped 23 pounds in the first month." And then other people going, "Oh, well, gee, I've dropped 10 pounds this month," or "I haven't been able to drop any weight yet this month." And then they start getting concerned that something that they're doing is not working. In comparison is good if it's going to help us to troubleshoot an issue. Like, maybe I'm not getting paid in my job the way I think I should. So then I look around and I say, well, other people at my age and similar occupations are getting paid a little bit more. So now I can go to my boss and saying, "Hey, just so you know, I feel that my position is underpaid." Or it might help in the diet and weight loss. Like I said, when I felt like I wasn't losing weight well enough, I started exercising more, trying to press myself to exercise more than I was. And once I did and stepped it up a little bit, the plateau I was in started to resolve itself. But then there was a part where the Mounarjo dose wasn't working as well for me, and I stepped up my exercise again. Nothing happened. Now I know that it was the dose and not my level of activity. I mean, everyone could exercise a little bit more, but in that particular case, I had stalled. So it's important for us to use comparisons to other people to troubleshoot. Am I in the right position in life? Am I not pushing myself hard enough, either in my occupation? Am I not taking care of my house the way other people in my neighborhood are taking care of it. But the part where it drops off is the part where it becomes just emotional. If you're going to go and read Reddit and say, oh, other people are losing more weight than I am, or you're going to look around your neighborhood and say, oh, everyone is better off than I am, it's not helpful. The emotional level of comparing yourself to others doesn't work. First of all, like I said, because it's great for troubleshooting, but there's a lot of reasons behind it. I didn't realize this, but when I was in debt back in my 20s and 30s, other people were greatly in debt. And I felt bad about myself, like, oh, look at me, I have all this terrible debt. But look at my friends, they're going on fantastic vacations. Everyone's homes are so much better than mine. And then when we had the economic time in 2008 and the credit shrunk because of the bad economy, suddenly you found out, oh, everybody is in trouble. So it is easy enough to get into comparisons, but you don't know everybody's story. You don't know what it is they're doing, how it is they're living their lives. When you see other people losing weight, they might just have a really fast metabolism and the GLP just kicked it into gear. They may exercise a ton to the point where you're just not able to do that much exercise. Like that guy who walks around all day. That's great. It's a fantastic idea to have a job that lets you walk around all day, but that's not my job. My job is sitting at a computer all day, talking to people, troubleshooting issues. So you can't look at things apples to apples. We are not apples to apples kinds of people. And the best thing that you can do is, like I said, use other people, use other experiences as troubleshooting for you, and then leave it there. You are you. You're going to lose weight at the rate you're losing weight. Are there things that you can troubleshoot? I mean, I know that there are things that I could troubleshoot. Like I said yesterday, I went to a friend's house for Christmas. And did I eat a little bit more than I typically do? Absolutely. We have to understand that we have to celebrate from time to time. We have to participate in holidays and Christmas, be with our families a little bit. I didn't eat that much. And I enjoyed myself. Now I'm good. I just had a little bit of fun. But if we don't allow ourselves a little breathing room here and there, if we are constantly on our backs to do everything perfectly. You know, back when I was talking to my doctor last week when I had that doctor's appointment, she thought that it was good that I have taken time to celebrate, that every once in a while I do go out with my friends and have a good time, that you can have a real loss of quality of life if you take, I think, anything too seriously, including the GLP. I told her, I said, this is the number one frustration with me, or maybe the number one temptation with me, is I know this drug has the power to allow me to starve myself. I know it would make me less healthy. I know I would lose muscle mass, bone mass. She said, oh, a lot more than that. First of all, your skin would not shrink back up with you and you would have excess skin. You may damage your health by lacking so much nutrition that you're just not even feasible as a human being. There are many ways that you can go wrong with this drug. She goes, you are doing this fine. Don't listen to anyone else because that's their story. And I told her, I said, if I was in my 20s and I knew that I could recover my bone mass and my muscle mass easily because I was young, just dieting down, so I got to my goal weight right away and rushed this, I'd be tempted to do that. Right now, I just don't feel you can afford to damage your health, particularly the older you get, particularly when you have already pushed yourself into diabetes, you pushed yourself into metabolic syndrome, and God only knows what else. You're going to have problems if you start treating your body badly. You learned all these lessons of things that you were supposed to do, best practices, right? Stretch before exercise, cool down afterwards, best practices for life. You always want to make sure you brush and you floss, all good health things that you're supposed to do. But what happens is as you get older, suddenly the things that were good ideas, best practices, become mandatory. If you work out and you don't warm up, if you work out and you don't cool down, and if you don't floss when you're supposed to, and also now, if you don't do the things that you have to do in order to maintain muscle mass, maintain bone mass, make sure you get enough sleep, your health will start to decline. You will start to have health problems. So it's more important that you follow a pace that works for you and not a pace that someone else has established as some kind of a metric. I lose 35 pounds my first week on Mounjaro. I didn't. But as soon as someone says that, then everyone starts feeling like I have to do more to get that way too. So I think that you be you, boo-boo, is not true for everything. Obviously, I'm someone who has strict codes of ethics. I have a strict belief in God. I have strict beliefs in what I should do in my life, how I should live and work. I don't believe in you be you, boo-boo, on many things. But when it comes to you regaining your health. I felt bad when I started running, when I got down to my low weight before, because I was much slower than everybody else. And so then I felt I had to speed up, and that's how I screwed up my ankles. You be you. I had never run in my entire life. Me running at all was a miracle. But then as soon as I started seeing how fast other people run, I started doing fun runs and trail runs, and then I go, oh, I'm really pretty slow. That this is about you being you, boo-boo. You'll get to the speed when you get to the speed, but pushing yourself into a position where you're damaging your health or you're damaging your ankles or you're even making something unfun. If you feel like if you go out with a hiking group and you're the slowest one in the bunch. I'm the slowest one in the bunch. Now maybe you've ruined the fun for yourself or you're giving yourself a comparison. I know I have a coworker. She is the fastest walker on the entire planet. But you know what? She slowed down for me so that when we went to Hawaii together for our work, we could go on hikes together. I knew she was slowing down for me, but it was more important to her that we got to hike together than it was for her to do record speed hiking. It happens, and sometimes, you know what? You just walk alone. I walk alone all the time because I am the slowest walker on the world. I'm also really short. So again, you be you, boo-boo, when it comes to your health. That's the important thing to do. Between you and your doctor, you need to figure out what your limits are. Are you pressing yourself enough? If you don't feel like you are, the doctor has ways of helping you to get nutrition counseling, perhaps, like I said, hiring a trainer, even for a short period of time to give you a workout routine to help you press yourself a little bit harder. But don't go reading social media to figure out what is exactly the perfect pace. That is a perfect pace for somebody else, but not necessarily for you. All right, everyone, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. I hope that everything is going well with you. Please feel free to email me at jill@startwithsmallsteps.com if you don't feel like commenting on the channel. But please feel free to comment on the channel. Subscribe, tell a friend. Let me know how your experience with GLP-1, you're just dieting without GLP-1, whatever your experience is. Let me know how it's going for you. And remember, all my podcasts can be found at abetterlifeinsmallsteps.com. Thanks so much. Have a great day.